a good first annual transfer tube day. Welcome to the Flame Trench. Let's start the show.
And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, Atlantis.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Echo down to nominal.
Flighting downside FD off. Bring in FD off. Off. It's orange!
R25! Oh my god!
Decollage. Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
This methane will be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You good? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Hello and welcome to the Flame Trench. It's our weekly informal news show. We are NSF, NASASpaceflight.com. We are an independent news media organization that cares a whole lot about the new golden age of spaceflight that we are, I'm blanking on words, that we're able to be living in. Yay! I'm done with words. EJ is also joining me on the show. I can't talk anymore, apparently. Precipice of. Thank you, Sawyer. Well,
You gonna be all right, or
no, you have words. You got a lot of words in front of you.
Yeah. I'm just just doing some recreational reading. I like to break a mental sweat too.
My screen's tiny. What is that? What are you reading? Reading. Oh my god, that's amazing. Also joining us on today's show, we have Sawyer as well. Sawyer is also reading something.
Deploy DAP setup, pilot CRT2, GNC20 DAP. I'm sorry, just reading my Space Flown Shuttle manual piece that just came in the mail yesterday. Sawyer Flex to start off the show.
Are we supposed to be starting the show with flexes? Did I miss the cue there? I guess that's my bad.
Yeah, what's your flex today, Jack? What do you got?
I got a lovely cooling device for my energy drink, even though it's a weird shaped can.
That's not NSF merch? For
No,
shame.
it should be. We should message the store team. But yeah, welcome to the Flame Trench. As usual, chat. This is an interactive show. If you have any questions, at NASA Spaceflight in chat, and we'll see it pop up in some software we have running in the background. And we have a bunch of different topics to talk about this week, including Stoke and Relativity, and of course NASA's new interim acting admin. And Starship, and what's going on in the lead up to hopefully Flight 10. But yeah, a lot to talk about this week. EJ.
But before we do that...
Oh, no.
What?
Uh-oh.
I'm back.
Hi,
Kevin.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge the operators anymore, do we?
Hi,
well,
Kevin.
That too. But I just have to start the show off, right? I'm sorry. Hold on.
Day.
Wait, am I even unmuted in all the places that I need to be unmuted? I don't even know what's happening anymore. Yes, I am unmuted. Hooray! Space Pope, you've outdone yourself. Now I want a sandwich. Now I want to eat a sandwich really badly.
EJ's face during that just sold the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Do it.
All right, so Stoke and how do you even follow that?
I don't got nothing, man. I don't know.
Good luck with that. It's your job as the host.
That's the thing that exists. That's the thing that exists, or something.
What? Did I miss something?
What? No, you're good. You're hosting.
All right, everything's going great. EJ, tell us about Stoke and Relativity Space.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to screw with Jack, so I kind of dead-aired it for a second. Anyway,
thanks.
All right, so we got big updates from Stoke and Relativity this past week. There are two commercial launch providers that are really, really getting in the game of making things And we're seeing pretty great strides with it. Kevin, put that thing back up there. That was Stoke Aerospace working on Complex 14, which is actually pretty cool. LC-14 is where Mercury Atlas missions took off from. That's where John Glenn flew from. And it's cool to see that pad's getting some love and actually going to launch rockets again. That's super cool. So that flame trench and complex is built for Stoke's Nova rocket, which is a two-stage, fully reusable vehicle. They will have a first stage that's kind of going to come back down and land kind of like Falcon 9, but their second stage is actually, well, it looks like a big flying beer can, I guess. No, the second stage of the Nova rocket utilizes Stoke's Andromeda engine, which is kind of like a heat shield and an engine kind of combined into one. It's a rocket engine that's shaped like a heat shield.
It's the coolest.
It works as such.
It's the coolest
it's really
concept.
cool, dude.
Well, and I don't even mean to make a pun. I'm not even trying. Sawyer, please don't be mad at me. I'm not even trying to steal your pun. It's just a really novel concept.
Well, according to the Space Pope song, I already gave you all my pun tokens, apparently, so it's fine.
And according to you, I have the best taste in bagels. But I digress. EJ, please continue.
There you go. There's a picture of the Andromeda test engine. There. Oh man, look at that thing. Yeah, it's like got rocket engines on the outer ring, and the center of it is a heat shield, and the engine is regeneratively cooled through the heat shield, which is very, very interesting. That's a very interesting thermal protection system that Stoke is working on. So they're making all kinds of progress here. The construction is going full bore at Complex 14, but simultaneously Relativity also posted their quarterly update yesterday, and man, there's a bunch of stuff. They're working on their Aeon-R engines. They put one up on the test stand, and actually we're doing thrust vector control system checkouts and stress tests. They actually posted that video today, but in their update, they also said that they're working on, wait for it. Hold up. Let's see. They're working on all kinds of GSE there. There's some load testing GSE. There's some domes being made. There's a vacuum engine, right? Actually, we got to go a little bit further in this video, Kev, because we got to get to the part where I want to make sure everybody. It's towards the end, dude. Show them the nozzle, Kev.
Yeah, that kind of looked like a transfer tube.
Oh
yeah. There's a picture of the Aeon engine firing on the test stand. The test stand, yep, there's their TVC testing
Look
right
at
there.
that gimbal.
Holy gimbal!
Oh, that's
wow.
pretty good. That's pretty good, man. Yeah, they really put that engine through its paces. It's pretty sweet. And then I do believe they are working on they have the upper stage engine, which we saw there a second ago, right? But they also have stubby
Transfer
nozzle.
tube.
Yeah, they have the downcomer as well. But they also have a stubby nozzle that they're working on. And then there's the LC-16 construction too. So these two companies are building these two launch complexes. They're kind of like right next to each other, which is pretty sick. Oh, there it is. I hate it. Oh, so bad.
Why do you
Did
hate
you see
it?
it? Because it's stupid.
What do you
It's
like
dumb.
about it?
It's stubby and it looks weird.
It's like even more stubby than the stubby. Like it's like super stubby. I'm kind of into it.
Yeah. No.
I mean, normally I'm with you. I dislike the Merlin stubby. I really dislike it. But this,
Right.
talk about best part being no part. There's essentially no part on it. So it's kind of hard to get mad at it when there's nothing to get mad at.
I'm super curious what Max's take on the Relativity stubby nozzle is. Also, I do have a very important correction. I am nothing if not a person that cares about being correct, especially when it's technically correct, because that's the best kind of correct. Relativity calls that part a downcomer, and that's fine.
Yes, the proper term for it.
Yeah, I just want to. Well, I don't know that I don't agree with that necessarily, but. Yeah, they call it a downcomer. So I was wrong in that instance. That they call it downcomer. I just want to put that out there. They call it in text. Okay. Thank you, Alex, in our back channel, yelling at me in all caps. Wait. Oh no, wait. This is important. Alex is helping. They call it a downcomer in text. In voice, they say transfer tube. Oh God.
Super tuber.
Yeah,
That's
super
what we're calling
tuber.
it. We're
Can
calling
I-
it Super Tuber.
Such a good movie. Oh wait, that was Super Trooper.
Nah, it's close enough.
Wait, I can't say this on air, but I'm going to I'm going to DM you something, EJ. Anyways, moving on.
So both of these companies are kind of going full bore, and it's kind of cool to see. You know, if you're a rock and roll fan, you know, you had the new wave of rock and roll in the 80s, the new wave, the second British invasion. If you know, the first one was like the Beatles and the Who and stuff, but then now we have the second wave, like Iron Maiden and Judas Priest. We got a second wave of commercial providers that are getting to the point where they're getting ready to fly, which is actually super cool. Especially Stoke. I'm hype on Stoke, and you know I want to point out, you know, Stoke's vehicle is fully reusable, but Relativity's is also a partially reusable vehicle as well. These are both two more launch vehicles that are coming online with reusability in mind, which is actually super cool and kind of represents the just paradigm shift that we've seen over the last, like, I don't know, let's say 5 years, right? Last 5 years towards reuse. Actually, I'd say 10 at this point, because it's been almost 10 years since Falcon 9 first landed. Don't like reminding myself of that. Sorry for reminding you. So, you know, you go back like a decade ago, landing rockets. Nah. Now everyone's doing it, which is great. That shows a huge movement towards reusability in the spaceflight industry, which is fantastic. That's really cool. Good stuff.
Really exciting. Like
Super Tuber.
Yeah, I'm just. We're getting closer to the point where Cape Canaveral will be like, you know, the old timey photos like Missile Row, where there's just a bunch of different rockets, and we're already pretty dang close. But you know, you get a New Glenn out there. I mean, heck, can I dream? Get an SLS on the pad. You get a Falcon 9 at 39A. You get the Falcon 9 at 40. You know, you get Relativity. You get Stoke coming a little bit further along. You get them vertical out there.
You got ULA with Vulcan, if we want to go oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, also good. Thank you. I did not mean to give ULA short shrift. Oh, hey, look, an aerial shot. What's going on here?
Oh, I wonder how
that
we
looks
got
like-
that.
Yeah, it looks like a HIF being built right there. Jeez.
Is that Relativity?
That's Relativity.
Yeah,
because the
definitely.
Terran 1 HIF is on the left. See that?
Just
That
for
is the
size
new one.
comparison there. Terran 1 versus Terran R, huh?
And sorry, exactly, right? Dude, Terran R is not a small vehicle. It's about as big as a Falcon 9. So not only are these launch providers getting into this, they're not, like, Relativity ain't making a small sat launcher. I mean, Stokes is a medium-duty launcher, kind of. The Nova Rocket's a medium-duty launcher out of the gate. So something kind of like Antares or Soyuz, to my knowledge. I could be wrong on that. But the point is that we're not seeing, like, people come in, and this isn't a slight against Rocket Lab because Neutron's going to be amazing. You're not seeing people come in with small sat launchers. People are trying to get into this industry with medium and heavy duty launch vehicles, which is another crazy thing in itself. Because, you know, even 5 years ago, you see people like with small launch vehicles, like Terran 1, for instance, or Electron, right? And even Rocket Lab was like, you know, we're just going to keep launching Electron. We don't really want to reuse it, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, Peter Beck ended up eating his hat because he was like, yeah, you know what? We should do reusability. That's a good idea. And not only should we do reuse, but we should do reuse with a bigger rocket, which is crazy.
Right.
It's so cool, man.
And props.
And ocean assets.
Props to him for literally eating the hat on that one.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
absolutely did. He put it in a blender and ate it.
I mean,
Also,
I
using marine assets
awesome.
that he said he would never use, too. But yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
uh,
Actually, just on a side note, Jack, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
On a side note, and Kevin, I don't know if you have the assets for that. Rocket Lab signed a contract with a shipbuilding company to build their drone ship for landing neutrons. That also happened this week. So that's really a lot of good news.
and the name of
A lot of good
the
news on
name of the drone ship is Chef's Kiss.
I don't-
Maybe we'll tease that really quick, and while Kevin gets the link. But as we teased that flyover shot, that's from what, today, right? Is that from today,
Yesterday.
Sawyer? Yesterday. It's fresh. It's fresh off the presses, and we've got a Cape flyover coming. And the only reason that we can, deploy assets, that's what I was going to do. I was trying to get the segue in there. The only reason we can deploy assets like Max and company and everybody in a helicopter and get aerial shots and get all this stuff edited and posted. Sawyer, you're on the edit for this one, right?
I am.
Nice. Yeah, like the only reason we can do all that stuff is because of y'all's support, including Mike Alpha Tango Sierra Matt's gifting 50 Red Team memberships, which if you just got Red Team membershiped, can I verb that? EJ, are you in chat just yelling Super Tuber for no reason?
No.
But yeah, if you just got a Red Team membership, you now have access to member content, including, I'm sure, some of those flyover photos as well. Space Pope with a $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Space Pope, for the tunes and all of the support, of course. They say, bless this trench transfer tuber and its trenchy membies. Was that the drone ship? I blew it. That was the drone ship. It's called Return on Investment. It's amazing. It's a great name.
Yeah. Kevin even cube zoomed to it.
I'm a failure.
That's awesome.
But yeah, that's a really great name for a drone ship. Like, especially given the context of the whole marine assets suck commentary. Like, the chef's kiss.
Return on investment, yeah.
So good. Let me continue thanking folks here. Chromatic, gifting a Red Team membership. I don't know, gifting a Red Team membership. Ninja Decimator, pew pew pew. With a super chat saying, Jack, it's a down tuber and you know it. I don't know that. That's not true. Patently untrue. False statement. Jolunar, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, became a Padrat member. Ethereal Swordsman, what's up, Ethereal? They say Space Tuber, was that what it said? Oh, I cleared it too fast. Telstar 86, thank you. They say, all hail the Space Pope. Soon the full album of tracks will be complete. Oh God, I didn't even consider it could be an album. Just need to convince the merch team to put it on the shop, please. No.
Spotify.
I love you, Space Pope. Oh, Space Pope could just do that. Ethereal Swordsman, again, they say, I still say bagels are just donuts without anything that actually makes donuts good. That's just false.
I think you and I can at least agree on that take. That is a bad take.
Yeah, you may be a bagel elitist, but at least you know what a bagel is and isn't some of the time.
Most of the time.
I'm not
So, like, a non-zero...
I know what bagels are.
Whoa! Is that real? Space Pope did a $200 tip to tips.nasaspaceflight.com. Space Pope?
Oh, it's real.
What?
They say, tipping out Kevin Michael Reed. Thank you for everything you do.
Oh, don't encourage him, Space Pope.
You know,
Jeez.
I would normally agree with you, EJ, but A, thank you so much, Space Pope. That's extremely generous. And B, Kevin is an absolute machine and an animal. He's a manimal. Machinimal? You're amazing, Kevin. Thank you for all you do. That's my best attempt at complimenting you. I'm trying really hard.
It's really hard to compliment me. I understand. It's really hard.
Hi, Kevin.
Space Pope, thanks. Like honestly, like I've never been called out like that, especially like at that amount. Holy, like I'm trying to avoid not swearing. Holy, not swearing. Like, thank you.
Shnikes.
Thank you.
Holy shnikes.
Is this how we finally get Crispy's soundboard implemented? Is so we have a buzzer so we can buzz Kevin when he's
Yeah.
That would be great. Thank you, Space Pope. Now and always. Always
instead of a sensor, it's just transfer tube. Holy transfer tube.
Holy super tubers.
Knowing my luck, it would just be down. It would, like, someone would change the sound file so it said down. It was like my voice AI saying downcomer, just like every time. I guess you could just clip me from earlier in the episode. Oh no.
Or just there.
Don't do that. Or there. Oh God. All right. Let's see if we have any questions. How about Stoke or Relativity? I'm not seeing any in the queue.
One thing I want to just point out, though, because you were talking about the fact that you've got these, medium and larger lift vehicles, EJ.
Yeah.
Along those lines, I think it's interesting to note that a lot of people are going, oh, why do we need all of these other companies? The market's getting saturated already. There's so many launchers. Are there even enough satellites besides, the internet constellations? And I think it's interesting to note when they're coming online. Because right now, SpaceX is moving its focus a lot from Falcon 9 to Starship. Once Starship is up and running, you're going to get a lot more of the super heavy launches versus the smaller launches. Same thing with Vulcan. Now it's working on that kind of heavier market. You've got Blue Origin and New Glenn. That's also a heavy lift market. So as these other companies move towards the heavier lifters, you kind of need someone to pick up what was the medium lifters, what Falcon 9 is now, and as we've heard, will eventually be phased out. these, I think, are the companies that are going to be able to come in and pick up the slack. And with more of them, it's going to make that market more competitive. So once SpaceX switches over entirely to Starship and you have these other launchers, now you finally have the smaller companies coming in to pick up the pieces in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point, Sawyer. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely going to be a demand here, guys. The industry is expanding like crazy, and there's just, I mean, actually, speaking of that, I mean, Kevin, are we ready? Are we ready to show this? Oh, breaking news!
Oh,
Jack.
Why me?
yeah. Breaking news, Jack.
No, it's the wrong person. Why would you do that? We have breaking news. Firefly Aerospace today, they just tweeted. They filed a registrations. That's the meanest thing you've ever done, even more so than making me sing on stream. Firefly Aerospace. It's a good thing I wasn't like taking a drink or something. Firefly's going to IPO. That's the news. They have proposed to IPO. That's initial public offering. That means they want to be traded publicly as a publicly traded company and all the things that come with that. And the ticker would be FLY or Fly, which is honestly kind of sick.
That's pretty cool. I want to point out that, you know, there's a lot of weird things happening in 2025, but there's also a lot of cool things happening. A company that has landed something on the moon is IPOing. That's, you know, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat, man. I don't hate that. Sawyer, what do you think?
I agree. I don't hate it either. It's nice. It's amazing how many of these companies now are getting onto the public market, actually. So, because now you've got... What now? Less breaking now. It's not breaking Jack.
Same thing twice?
It's the same. It's the
That's
thing.
the
I had to
official-
fix it.
Okay.
Didn't you notice the big fumble where it just like cut in the middle of the stinger? I had to do it right.
No, once I saw my face, the preceding 30 seconds was just blanked out by a surge of adrenaline and anxiety.
Yeah, that's what happens when I see you too.
Yeah, same, dude. It's like I walk past a mirror and my watch is like, yo, you got a high heart rate.
But it's interesting. I was gonna say it's cool to see more rocket companies get publicly traded, but I'm also noticing in chat right now a lot of people dislike it. There is a large amount of dislike for Firefly entering the public market.
Well, I mean, is it going to be a SPAC, the Special Purpose Acquisition Company? I think that's what SPAC stands for. Remember all the small sat launchers of the aughts? I hate that all went SPAC and no longer exist. I mean, maybe there's not as many as I'm remembering, but of course, first Virgin Orbit.
Oh, yeah, good point.
You know, yep. I'm sure I could, if I was more intelligent and had drunk more of this energy drink, I could come up with other examples.
Wasn't Astra Republic at one point?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. There's another one. So it's not good or bad to be publicly traded. It's just like anything in rocketry or business. Hey, there's trade-offs, right? Chat certainly is entitled to their opinion, as they always are. If I was going to own space stock, this is not an endorsement, and I don't own any space stock, but if I wanted to do that, I would think it's cool. Like EJ said, like you could, if you so desired, to own stock in a company that has landed a thing on a moon, and they do IPO. This is just a proposal, should be noted. That's pretty cool, if you ask me, in my humble opinion.
I mean, it's worked for Rocket Lab pretty well.
Yeah, Sawyer, and I think that has a lot to do with it. I think it's not really a question of whether a spaceflight company or spaceflight provider is going to IPO to when's the right time to do it. I think now is a good time for Firefly to do that. You guys got to remember that going public like that, especially when you're riding the high like the Blue Ghost 1 mission, you're going to have a higher IPO. Like their public offer is going to be a lot higher because there's a lot of stock in this company because they landed something on the moon successfully in a market where that other providers have not done that and stayed upright, I guess. But that's it's the right time, and if they were going to do it now, would probably be a good time to do it. You got a successful lunar landing under your belt. They're working on the Eclipse vehicle with Northrop Grumman. This would be the right time to do it. And Sawyer, you're right, man. Rocket Lab has kind of made a killing with it. I mean, it wasn't good at first. Rocket Lab's IPO was high, and then they had a failure, and then it wasn't high. But
Yeah.
since Rocket Lab has been upping their cadence lately, I mean, they've done a good amount of missions this year. As of July 2025, they've done a pretty hefty amount of missions this year. Their stock is going as high as the rocket is.
Aren't they scheduled to actually launch one like while we're doing the Flame Trench? Although I don't think they're broadcasting it.
It's
The
a
My
haste mission.
Cat 4 mission, aka Jake 4.
Yep, Jake 4 haste mission going out of Wallops. It's going actually in
Scrubbed.
about 2 hours. It's scrubbed. It's not going at all.
According to Pizza in our back channel.
Breaking news. According to Pizza in our back channel, it's scrubbed.
Was that? Hey, that's the yeah. As long as it doesn't pull an Astra and power slide the stock, we'll see.
Nice, Sawyer.
I still think that was cool. Pun acknowledged. I still think that was cool, man. That thing, the bottom of that rocket exploded and it still went up, which is pretty cool.
I mean, it went up eventually.
I mean,
Eventually,
your reaction
yeah.
is the best part of that launch. DJ.
Yeah, I do. That is one of my favorite videos that it currently exists on the internet. I do need you to know that.
Yes.
Like,
I couldn't believe it, dude. I was like, "Oh man, it's actually working! Go!"
go,
By the
you
way,
stupid
guys,
thing.
just in the interest
I was
of
like-
disclaimers, we should probably say that NASA Spaceflight LLC does do live stream production services for Firefly, and this stream is not investment advice. Okay, bye.
Jack
Yeah,
already
good call.
said that. Weren't you paying attention?
I mean, I said it in a dumber way. Kevin said it in like the actual like appropriate way that you should say something like that. I was just like, me not smart. Anyways,
Kevin Michael Reed, attorney at Not Law.
attorney at law. You guys ever remember that show Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law? Remember that? You ever watch that?
X, the Eliminator.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
Tubes.
Hey, did you get that
That thing I sent you?
that thing I sent you?
No, I have not gotten that thing that you have sent me.
I couldn't get into that show. In all
Nobody ever
honesty.
gets that shit. Oh, that's a good one.
I couldn't get into it honestly. It seemed cool, but
That's fair.
To each
It's an
their own.
acquired.
yeah.
It's an acquired taste. You got to
Abs-
watch it and then.
Absolutely.
And you're eventually like, all right, I get it.
Oh, we do have a Stoke question here. Mighty Unlikely is asking, reminder, what are the Stoke Space propellants? Quiz time, hot shot. Sawyer.
Sawyer,
go.
what are the? Yeah, Sawyer.
Yeah.
Oh,
I-
you can't. Oh, come on.
No, I
buddy.
genuinely go. I'm embarrassed now. Thanks.
It's methane and oxygen, right?
It was a methylox. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was awesome. Good
Guys,
job.
It's full.
Awesome.
It's, all right. All
Awesome
right. I
for
got
who?
you, man. Wait. Well, who's they? Fellas. So yeah, Stoke is a Methylox rocket, right? Their first stage is using a full flow stage combustion cycle engine that was engineered by 7 and built by 7 dudes. Yeah, something that is the same kind of fuel cycle as Raptor. Stoke is like a 7-man team or something, which is just okay. It's pretty cool. It's pretty good.
Something to be said for the agility of small teams.
Yeah, and the Andromeda engine, also same set of engineers. It's a hydrolox upper stage. They're using hydrogen because with the Andromeda engine, the heat shield with hydrogen's a great conductor of heat. So using your Andromeda engine is also a regenerative heat shield, and using hydrogen to cool it simultaneously will allow it to absorb the most amount of heat without the heat shield melting.
Right, hydrogen
So,
can absorb
yeah.
a stupid amount of heat because chemistry
It's a really
things
good
I
conductor.
don't understand. But I can't underscore enough what an interesting and novel set of ideas Stokes launcher in particular is. Like, we're going to have
I
a
love that.
brute force Methylox first stage. We're going to have a Hydrolox high efficiency upper stage. And we're going to do this crazy... Say what?
And reusability.
And reusability,
Yep.
yeah. And, and to get that, we're going to not, it's not going to be a tiles. It's going to be a metal situation with regenerative. I'm a broken record here, but I'm a really big fan of what Stoke's doing. Can't wait to see more.
And the fact that it's such a, like you're saying, it's a relatively small group in comparison. Think of another vehicle that uses a Methylox first stage and a Hydrolox upper stage. I don't know, something like Vulcan, which is massive and is ULA and has so many people and backers and things behind it. And you have Stoke Space coming up with something along those lines, and it's amazing.
I mean, Newglands too, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an even bigger team.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Stoke's like, yeah, we built this in the shed.
7.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty legit.
Real nice.
Uh,
Got it on sale.
Severin,
Yeah.
picked it up from Home Depot. Severin is
Got it.
asking, when do you think Stoke's rocket will fly?
Ooh. I actually was going to ask you guys, out of Relativity, Stoke, and like, let's say MLV with Firefly, which one of these do you think we'll see first? I think that we'll probably see Eclipse. I think we'll probably see Firefly first. I think they're the furthest along. What do you guys think?
Oh man, that's so tough. I could waffle if you need more time, Sawyer, or
No,
if you want.
I'm gonna go with Relativity. I feel like.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing. When you think about it, they have launch experience under the belt. Yes, same with MLV and with Firefly and that. But, I mean, they had the whole Terran 1 launch concept. They had this whole idea. And yes, they kind of stripped it all down and are redoing it. But given what we've seen from them and what's been coming out and the experience they're working with, I wouldn't be surprised if they sneak ahead here. And we were talking pre-show with that flyover image of just, in comparison to the HIF, the Horizontal Integration Facility that they're building at the pad there, how much larger it is than the one they used for Terran 1. I think they're going to do it, though. As we now see it by my side of the head, yeah.
Yeah, no, that dude, I wouldn't have guessed that. But that is a good point. So, I mean, that begs the question to answer Severin's question. Like, when do we think Stokes is going to come around? I'd say sometime, like, I don't know. This is completely kind of crazy. Like maybe the middle of next year, judging by what I see with the pad construction. I mean, you need the launch pad to go anywhere, and that's kind of important, right? So I would say Stokes still a little ways off. At the very least, 6 months. At the very least, but who knows?
Man, I mean, I feel like you're a pretty plugged in guy, EJ, and you're level headed. So 6 months to middle of next year, something like that. 6 months to a year or so. That seems
What do you
plausible.
think, Jack?
Oh, I have no idea, honestly. I do think that EJ's hypothesis or suggestion that Firefly could, wins, be first off the pad with their MLV is not unreasonable. But I don't know. Maybe there's a sleeper. Maybe we get surprised. As for when Stokes rocket will fly, yeah, sometime. I'm just gonna piggyback on EJ. Sometime in the next year. I hope. I want to see it fly. I want to take pictures of it.
I'm thinking.
I was about to say, what's up?
No, I was gonna say for my timeline, I think that we would see Relativity like April, May next year. With Firefly maybe May or June, and then see Stoke probably a couple months after, like August would be my guess. Again, this is total speculation just off of the imagery that's been out publicly, the video that they've released, their updates, and what we've seen from the flyover imagery of their pad status.
Which again, we do have a flyover of the Cape that we just did yesterday. That's coming soon, so stay tuned to the channel because that video is coming out next week. Yay! Flyover. Thank you, Membies, for the support. So we can do stuff like that and tell the story of the new golden age of spaceflight in which we are all on the precipice of. Thank you so much, whoever typed precipice. Was that you, Sawyer, that typed precipice?
That was me. Yep.
There, I didn't botch it.
Precipice is a fun word, so absolutely.
Hey, excuse me, chat. I'm not level-headed. I'm not round-headed. My head is an oblate spheroid. Thank you very much. Wait.
Assume a spherical EJ head.
That's a big assumption. Big head.
I got a tiny head. Wait, what?
Oh, like it was some other big guy. I have a tiny head.
I have a tiny head?
Classic. You know what else is classic? NASA getting thrown around and not having an administrator for a long time. But now they have an interim administrator, right, EJ?
Yeah, they do.
Is it good?
I like reality TV, so yeah, it might be. I don't know. I mean, Sawyer, do you you want to explain this one? I don't know if I could do this without getting a little peeved, but
Sure, I'll try for the level-headed approach to it. So
yeah, I don't think I can stay level-headed for this one, man.
Which part do we want to take first? The new acting interim administrator?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk about it.
The Duffster.
Duffster.
Yeah, the Duff. Drink your Duff beer, everybody. Here we go. So,
Don't make me hate The Simpsons. Don't make me hate The Simpsons, Sawyer.
yes. So it's official. We still don't have an actual full-time NASA administrator, but we have a new interim administrator. So you may remember that Janet Petro has been the person sort of in charge of NASA for the time being. That was going to be until Jared Isaacman was confirmed, but then that confirmation, his nomination was pulled just before the confirmation. So the president wanted somebody, it seems like, that aligned more with his presidential views, because it's worth noting, Janet Petro kind of just got it as the acting administrator based off of where her position was at NASA at the time. This is someone that was actually submitted by the president and is a presidential appointee for the acting interim administrator. So in case you're unaware, Sean Duffy, who will be the person taking it, is actually currently the Secretary of Transportation. And I guess in a way, this is a kind of transportation, that it is transporting things to and from space. So yes, Jared, as you see there, actually supporting the nomination and basically talking about his role in it, that the country needs more good people working on this, and NASA, needs its best step going forward. So Duffy will now take the double role of the Secretary of Transportation and the acting administrator of NASA, until they actually come up with a full-time nominee and get that person approved and placed into that role. So the official word from Duffy upon this was, quote, "Time to take over space. Let's launch." Thank you, Ryan Caton, for assisting me in the discussion there.
Dude,
Send it.
Send it? Okay, you really want to know what I think? The answer is I'm not sure. To be 100% honest with you.
He's sending it. He's sending it, everybody.
I don't... Okay, all right. Objectively, I'm not sure. At face value, I'm like, that's good. All right. I was on the real world. That's cool. I don't necessarily mind Sean Duffy being an interim administrator. If he was picked as like this is the nomination, I'd be like, not trying to disparage the guy. I don't really know too much about him. I know he was on the Real World Boston in the 90s. He was on MTV, on reality TV. But since then, he's gotten like a law degree. He's been a district attorney, and he is the Secretary of Transportation. Now, I don't know. That's not really my wheelhouse, dude. Like, I like trains. I mean, I'm sure we all do, but I haven't really been following that too much, right? Him being interim administrator is probably just there so they can basically prep another nomination. I mean, Jared Isaacman himself said that these, to prep a nomination takes like 6 months. It took 6 months to get, to go from like, oh, we want Jared Isaacman to be the administrator to the confirmation meeting, and then you guys know the deal. The president pulled the nomination like a day before the Senate confirmation hearing, which. I don't think history will be nice to that decision, but hey, whatever. I mean, we'll see what happens. And that's kind of like where I'm going with it objectively. Like, I don't know. Sean Duffy, I'm sure he'll do a fine job just as the interim administrator, but unfortunately it does leave NASA kind of in a holding pattern for basically this whole year, right? Which sucks. I mean, because we are in whether we like it or not, we seem to be in a competition for who can get back to the moon, or who can get to the moon either for the first time or us going back to the moon. You know what I mean, right? So,
right.
I don't know, man. I really like this decision. Like, it's easy to be like, oh my God, that's so dumb. But like, I really would like to wait and see who is NASA administrator. You know what I mean? Like, who's the actual nomination? Like, okay, conditional hypothetical here. What if he reelected like Jim Bridenstine to be the next NASA administrator again? Like, what? Then this decision we'd be like, oh, Sean Duffy, who was that? Oh, he was the interim administrator. It doesn't matter. Like, it really depends, dude. Like, I don't know, Jack. What do you think, dude?
Oh, so many things. I will say, compliment sandwich, right? I will say the idea of the Secretary of Transportation being in charge of space flight also, like, okay, yeah, it's transportation. Like airliner-like operations, right?
Hey, it's not a bad idea, but no.
But yeah,
that's not what NASA's doing right now, though.
I don't care that the dude was in reality TV. Like, hey, I'm a person on the internet, so like I don't think that should necessarily, check in if go like for like I'm mostly what annoys me about this, EJ and Sawyer, is that it just feels like kicking the can down the road.
Yep.
And it's what you were just saying, EJ. It's exactly what you just said. This feels like kicking the can down the road at a time when we should have a bonfire. We should be pouring gasoline on the bonfire. Someone should go to the scrapyard, part out a freaking old VW, take the magnesium engine block and throw that on the bonfire, and then throw water on the engine block while it's cooking off. Like, we should really be doing this, and it's really fun to do that. Don't do that. You can't put magnesium out with water because it just ignites more. We should be really mashing the gas, and this feels like kicking the can down the road. That's what annoys me.
That was an oddly specific example of how to make a bonfire get angrier, Jack.
Don't worry about that.
I'm very worried now, but I mean, first off, talking about reality TV, Jack, we all know you're an influencer. You've been called it before, so we know.
I have to go.
It's true. Somebody actually called him an influencer once. But anyway.
Really? Oh,
yes,
man.
Really. Bye, Jack. So.
Yeah, on a Tinder date, no less. Thanks for the reminder.
I wasn't going to bring that part up.
I think we killed EJ. Go ahead, Sawyer.
I was trying to be nice about it. I wasn't going to bring up the date part, but yes.
No,
anyway.
no, if you're going to throw me under the bus, don't just, nudge me. Really push me under the tires, please. Go whole hog. We don't go half hog here. This is NSF.
Anyway.
Oh, my God.
I'm getting the Red Bull in my veins. I'm sorry.
Speaking of going half hog, that's kind of what I was going to say, is along those lines, you were talking about the fact that he's pulling double duty. And one of them is his actual appointment. The other is just temporary, whatever terminology we want to use at this point. He's temporary in that position. He is the Secretary of Transportation currently. How are you going to be able to split your time up with all of the transportation within the United States and then also throw in NASA, which, yeah, you think, like you're saying, transportation, airplanes, things like that kind of idea, but it's not just that. It's all of the science that needs to be done. It's all of the ongoing exploration missions. It's everything happening aboard the ISS. It's SLS, as you pointed out. It's the fight to go back to the moon. It's all of the, what budget is left of it, climate research that they do, oceanography research that they do, light pollution research that they do, studying the sun. It's a lot more than what we talk about with roads and infrastructure and trains and planes. It's almost more, in a way, than just the transportation alone. So for one person to be split between two massive organizations like that, I think is a detriment, in my opinion, possibly to both. But if it came down to it, if he had a choice of which one he needed to put more time and effort into, which one do you think he's going to pick?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
You would hope at a time like right now, NASA would have somebody who is fully attentive and devoted, and they have an interim situation, which I guess is better than no admin or just sort of headless flailing, but not much better.
Fellas, I have a weird theory. This is can we do EJ's kind of weird theory time here?
Where's the stinger for it?
All right,
we need one.
So, oh yeah, breaking news: EJ's wild theory time. Put on my tinfoil hat. No, I was saying a second ago, we gotta wait. We gotta wait and see who the who was really gets put up as NASA administrator. Now, call me crazy, but it's no secret that, with Isaacman, they were really going to champion commercial stuff, right? That's really what Rook wanted to do. He's been very vocal about this. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, right? But maybe, just maybe, it's possible that, I was talking about this yesterday on my stream, but I stream on Twitch if anybody cares. Anyway, if you don't, just chill. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not crazy. I swear. That's what a crazy person would say. Anyway, if you compare NASA in 1969 and what their goals were to NASA in 1981 and what that NASA's goals were, those are two different things. It's two different organizations with a completely different objective. You guys think it's entirely possible that, giving Rook the boot, right? If you're going to champion commercial, right? Especially with space race looming on the horizon, that NASA's job could be changing. It's possible that they could be going back to doing human exploration stuff, and the NASA from the late 1960s could be making a comeback. I know people are just like, yeah, okay, sure, man. No, think about it. In the bill that big bill, I'm not calling it that. I'm calling it House Resolution 1 because that's basic HR 1. That's what it is. I'm not calling it beautiful bill. That's ridiculous. There was a huge boost in funding to exploration operations, right? There's a huge boost in funding. Artemis 4 and Artemis 5 and all the accoutrement for that got on the books, right? That is a pretty big, now no matter how you cut it, that's a pretty big expansion of human exploration operations at NASA. It's more SLS, and I know how people are going to feel about that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But especially with the space race looming on the horizon, giving Rook the boot, I would say that, a expanded astronaut exploration program coming from NASA, like looming on the horizon, isn't out of the realm of possibility. What do you think, Jack?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Sawyer, what do you think?
Holy deflection there.
I got nothing.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Right?
And by the way, you can call it the Better Business Bureau because it's BBB, big. Anyway,
might be disingenuous.
What? Yeah, you can choose to take it literal or ironic. Your choice, whatever your political view. So, I mean, I'm glad they are investing in NASA for something. Yes, we've seen the idea that a lot of it is going towards exploration and towards Artemis and less towards science. I mean, there was the whole science fair that they set up in the Capitol building to say, hey, these are the programs that will be cut that are science funded if you pass the funding. But I mean, something is better than nothing at this point, but we know what they're waiting for. We know they're waiting for somebody that aligns closer with the president's view. Janet Petro is a silver servant? Wow. I didn't realize not to mean she's old. No, a civil servant. You've got someone who's now the Secretary of Transportation, someone they vetted that currently does align with the president's views. And I saw a lot of you in chat saying all he's going to do is delegate. I mean, yeah, but it's delegating on behalf of the president's views, and again, trying to have to split all the delegations of what's happening at NASA and what's happening in transportation. I'm glad they're getting the money. I'm glad that they're saying, hey, let's fund NASA a little bit more. I just wish the way that it was divvied up was better.
I mean, Sawyer, people are going to call me nuts. I still don't think that the Senate will stand for this. No, seriously. I really don't think that. I think I know that HR 1 passed, huge boost to Artemis, potential huge debuff to sciences or defunding of sciences and stuff. I still don't think that's going to hold. I think the Senate will allocate more money, Congress, not the Senate. But you see what I'm saying? Like, you could always propose a bill to amend the budget. It's definitely a thing. It definitely has happened. It's happened many times. So I still don't think that science budget is going to stick. But it could. I mean, even if it doesn't stick, next year they'll boost it back again. Now, I don't know what kind of damage is going to get done in the meantime. And if people are worried about that, sure, I would certainly, that's certainly something to mention here. But the thing is that I think what we're seeing here is NASA's job changing again. Once again, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. The NASA, the Apollo era NASA is not shuttle era NASA. Those are two different things. Now, in that particular case, that it changed. I don't, I love the shuttle. Sorry, I know you love the shuttle. I'd say we kind of changed for the worse, but as much as I love the space shuttle, I'd take a Saturn V over it any day of the week. I'm sorry, like that's just objectively.
Can we have both?
I mean, well,
hear me out. Hear me out. I'm sorry. Just hear me out.
Sure.
SRBs, put like 8 of them on a Saturn V first stage.
Yeah, I'm here for this.
External tank, get it out of there.
Moldy.
Strap the shuttle to the third stage of the Saturn V. Then you have both.
Why don't you just put an external tank on top of an S1C?
Also good. Moldy Space, where are you at? You have some Kerbal crimes to commit.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong, EJ. NASA got so reliant upon shuttle that it sidetracked everything else. NASA went all in on it. We have to go massive with it. And then when it didn't live up to its expectation, it was, well, now we're stuck with it. So let's just keep going and keep going. And then they needed a reason to keep it going. So we got Space Station Freedom, and then they got the ISS. We need a reason to keep that going to build it. And then Columbia happened, and now we'll retire it, but we still have to finish the ISS with it. It took a lot to finally realize, this vehicle kind of sucks, but we're stuck with it, so let's see what we could do with it. I love shuttle. I mean, again, I wouldn't trade it for anything, but for its intended original purpose from when we saw Enterprise in '78, definitely didn't live up to that. Yeah,
exactly, man. And I think that what we're seeing here, and it kind of happened in a roundabout way, government, I think what we're seeing here is NASA could potentially... our ideas of NASA could change, and some people are going to think that's bad, and certainly when NASA changed from Apollo to shuttle era, there was a catastrophic reduction in workforce, right? And yet here we are again, catastrophic reduction in workforce and a huge budget shift and a huge priority shift. It's very possible that our idea of it's changing. It's very possible that they could go back to the big budget lunar exploration programs, especially considering, we could potentially be in another space race. I mean, I don't know if you guys, I'm kind of going to shamelessly plug this, but I don't know if you guys know, Tory Bruno, the CEO of United Launch Alliance, has a podcast now, and it's called The Burn Sequence. And I watched episode 2. Jim Bridenstine was on episode 2. If you guys want to watch it, it's amazing. Wait till the end of the Flame Trench, right? But it's really good. It's pretty good stuff. And Tory Bruno actually poised this in a very interesting way, that basically in a second Cold War with China, right? And I don't know whether you guys want to drink that Kool-Aid or not. I'm not sure, right? It doesn't matter. But if there is a potential near-peer adversarial race coming on in the future, this budget actually corroborates that. It corroborates another space race for going back to the moon and then beyond, right? And science, unfortunately, is taking a back burner to that. And I don't know. I mean, if you look at it like that, that's what I mean. We could potentially see a huge expansion of NASA in-house stuff. Oh, there it is. Right there.
It looks really good. I got to check that out.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
I can't stay quiet anymore because I have a lot of feelings and thoughts.
Yeah, sure.
I think we are, EJ. I don't think it's Kool-Aid drinky to think that we are in... you call it a new Cold War, you call it whatever you want, call it a space race. I sort of try to deliberately refer to this period of time that we live in, at least the space stuff specifically, as like a new golden age of space flight. I try not to make it like adversarial, right? But there is reasons for that framing, both, if you have a company that makes money off of defense dollars, of course you want to frame things that way. But also just the state of the world that we live in today. You would be gravely mistaken if you thought that the stakes aren't high for the next 10 to 20 years in terms of who gets the high ground first. And I'm not even talking about war or I'm just talking about economic advantage. When the space economy becomes real, also prestige. That's also there's so many soft power. So when you say, AJ, that NASA's job has changed, the idea of NASA going back to the NASA of yore and focusing on human spaceflight, that sounds great, right? In theory, that sounds amazing. At the sake of science, though, to me, that's you can't you can't just drop like to me. I think of science as learning, right? That's one component of science. Another component of science is like research and development, which is like a special kind of learning, right? And to just whack all that stuff out of the budget in this notional idea where NASA is returning to focusing on human spaceflight, it's like, I don't know. Penny wise, pound foolish isn't the right idiom, but there's an idiom somewhere in there that probably would encapsulate it perfectly. But I don't think, like, I'm not trying to poo-poo your idea or your theory, your speculation time.
I'm just putting it out in the void, dude. I'm just trying to see what you guys think.
Totally. So I don't know. We'll see. I think you're right. We'll have to kind of wait and see. We can also see a clip of Senator Jerry Moran of Kansas and Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland, chairman and ranking member of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee on Commerce, Science, and Justice, respectively. Kevin, do we have that clip?
What is this for, Jack? What are we talking
Science funding. This mark is makes a minimal cut of $60 million to the National Science Foundation. That's a 0.67% decrease. And the NASA account, I want to spend a moment on NASA. For NASA, the bill reflects an ambitious approach to space exploration, prioritizing the agency's flagship program, Artemis, and rejecting premature terminations of systems like SLS and Orion before commercial replacements are ready. We make critical investments to accelerate our plans to land Americans on the lunar surface before the Chinese, but also in the technologies and capacity to land astronauts on Mars. This bill protects key science missions that are fundamental to furthering our understanding of the Earth and better stewards of our natural resources, and supports critical programs not only to drive discovery, but to safeguard the Earth from natural disasters. And then, particularly with the events of the past, for many of us, NOAA and particularly the National Weather Service is a hugely important component of what this bill funds, and this bill recognizes that importance.
Nationwide and enable sustainable management of ocean resources, conduct periodic censuses, as the chair said, and much more. To promote American innovation and scientific discovery, the bill provides $9 billion for the National Science Foundation, sparing it from the proposed 57% cut advanced in the president's budget request.
That's what I'm saying.
The bill funds NASA at $24.9 billion, slightly above fiscal year 2025, to explore the solar system, to advance our understanding of climate change, promote innovation and sustainability in aeronautics, and protect our planet. We rejected cuts that would have devastated NASA science by 47% and would have terminated 55 operating and planned missions. And instead, we provide $7.3 billion. And as Chairman Moran said, and I won't go into the specifics again, we help keep Americans safe from violence in their communities and invest in life-saving grant programs for state, local, and tribal law enforcement, criminal justice initiatives, victims support, and other critical elements. So, colleagues, as I said at the beginning, there's a lot of good news.
All right. That could be good. If that passes, that's good.
That's what I'm saying, man. There's no way that science budget is going to hold up. I'm telling you, it's not. You don't have systems that we got checks and balances, man.
But if they, like, let's say everything goes swimmingly and that gets through appropriations or whatever and passed, the interim NASA admin is, close. He's close with he's going to carry out the administration's desires. And if the administration wants to cut science, like, to what extent
the interim
is it going to happen anyway?
The interim administrator is not going to be able to make any crazy big changes. That's why they're the active administrator or the interim administrator. Like I said, we kind of have to all wait and see what happens with, with who is actually going to be the next nominee for NASA administrator. But see, that's what I mean. Like, guys, I guess the overall point that I'm trying to get at is that this seems like it could be bad, but it also could be very good. It's possible. Like, however unlikely, it's possible.
I mean,
dude, we could see a rebirth of NASA here, and that's, you know what, man? If that's how it's got to be, that's how it's got to be.
Rebirth is certainly one word for it. Sawyer, did you have thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, sorry, Jake is joining me for these thoughts, but I mean, what I was going to say is the fact that now I totally forgot. The fact that hopefully this all gets worked out while we have an acting administrator. I'm okay if it's done while there's an acting administrator for NASA. Hopefully this will all get worked out in Congress, and then they can set up whoever's coming in with a budget. Imagine having Jared Isaacman come in and saying, here's your budget. Actually, no, here's not your budget. Here is your budget. No, we're going to have to cut stuff. No, we're going to have to add stuff again. Hopefully by the time they get their act together, they can propose to whoever's going to take that role, here is the money you will have. Here are the programs that are still in effect, the ones that will be cut. Now tell us your plan. And worth noting that both of those voices that you heard, one was a Republican and one was a Democrat. So that is universal support.
You love to hear it. Sometimes it feels like the system works or is just not completely, utterly broken. And in those times, it feels good. Also, Jake.
Yeah, Jake is trying to comfort us all during this trying time.
What did Jay?
My rule of thumb is that, politicians you don't hear about are usually the ones that are doing okay. The ones that are just the background processes, so to speak. They're usually doing a good job. It's the ones that you hear about. It's like,
Yeah, definitely. You know who I do like hearing about, though? Our membies who support what we do, and also everyone coming out and doing support for the stream. Ethereal Swordsman again saying the best part about reusability is less solid rocket motors, liquid fuel, best fuel as long as it's not powered by steam, Arca. Thanks for the super chat, Ethereal Swordsman.
As we were literally just saying, hey, let's throw 8 solids on.
I mean, more solids, more better,
solids.
but also less solids, also good for human spaceflight.
Jack, how do you reconcile with the fact that solid rocket boosters have moved more people to space than any other form of propulsion?
I am mad about it. I'm pretty mad about it, honestly. If I was gonna really sit back and kind of take stock and really let what you said kind of sink into my head and challenge my perceptions of solid rocket boosters is not good for human spaceflight.
Why not?
And then you just sprinkle that little bit of information into my brain. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that, EJ. I don't know how to reconcile that. It's some cognitive dissonance is the answer. It's just a large-sized helping, a big gulp of cognitive dissonance.
All right,
Thank you.
Fair.
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I'll just add it to the pile.
Okay.
That diabetic kid, thank you for the support. They say super tuber. That's all. Steve
Super
Kalovic.
tuber.
Super tuber. Steve Kalovic, thank you for the support. Oh no, where did it go? Oh, it's right here. Gifting 5 Red Team memberships. Merry Old Elf, gifting a Red Team membership as well. Daryl Swordsman again. Thanks, buddy. They say Stoke's the only one of the 3 to have got onboarded to the NSSL. In theory, they had a credible path to launch this year, and the other 2 didn't. Interesting point.
Ooh.
That's a good point, dude. I didn't take that into consideration.
We've got a $25 super from Bideford. Thank you so much, Bideford, as always. Bideford says, I want Jared, period. I'm still upset that the best candidate isn't the NASA admin. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that ship has sailed.
You can't always get what you want.
Can't
try sometimes.
Get what you want.
You still get screwed.
Yeah.
No. I don't think that's the lyrics. Sorry.
It is now.
Yeah, Sawyer's helping us avoid
Sorry, Mick
Sawyer's
Jagger.
helping us avoid the copyright strike there. So he's just looking out. Shadow Mask, thanks for the support. They say don't nerf NASA so you can buff Space Force. I'm all for that.
Space Force is getting huge increases.
Also, yes.
Right, they're saying don't do that.
I mean,
right. I agree. Don't do that. Buff them both. Bideford, thank you for the support. They say if we don't move forward quickly, we will be left behind. How do we get Congress to see the bigger picture? Fortunately, I think some Congress people do know sort of what the stakes are right now.
Yeah, Jack,
I don't.
can I jump
Go ahead.
in with you? I
Kevin,
just been thinking
you can
about,
always jump in. I love when you jump in. It's my favorite thing that happens on any NSF stream ever.
I mean, we were talking about solid rocket boosters and stuff, and it made me think of SLS and Artemis. And like, wasn't Artemis a Congress mandated program? You know, I think that was under the Obama administration, right? But
Sort of.
sort
No,
of.
no. I think Artemis was Trump, wasn't it? It was rebranded Constellation. No.
No, it
Oh
was
God, it's been
Obama.
rebranded so many times.
It was
Really?
absolutely the
Yeah.
Obama administration because it was Constellation, and I think that was 09 or 2010 it was canceled because in 2011, at the final shuttle launch, they had a whole big thing on Orion and its future there.
Yeah, like Obama was pushing for commercial crew, and I like Congress kind of pushed the whole idea of a super heavy lift vehicle, and so Congress has a lot of power. Actually, like the president of the
Congress
United
tried to
States.
mandate that Europa Clipper was going to be launched on SLS until that was, it was in law that had to. Like, yes, Congress has power. I follow you. Continue. Please.
I mean, they're the ones who give the money, and they're also the ones that can write it into law what has to be used. They can say that shuttle engines have to be used on a rocket. So I think there are. I get a little political here, but there are sensible people in Congress too, on both sides of the aisle, who probably realize that it's not a great idea to just get rid of science, and I think that's what those two senators, a Republican and a Democrat, were talking about in that clip that we played, and I think that's really important. That's all I have to say. Now you can go back to talking about solid rocket boosters.
No, it's a very valid point, and I think it's heartening, right, to see two senators from across the aisle working together on a sensible thing. Yay, as it should be.
I mean, consider this. If the executive branch wants a big expanded human spaceflight program and puts forth the proposal for funding for that, and then Congress says no, well, we need science too, we could end up with an increase in NASA's budget. I'm not, guys, like, you guys are looking at me funny, and it's hard to say that right now, but it's darkest before the dawn. You know what I mean? There's an entirely big possibility that NASA's budget could go through the roof in the next couple of years. That's not out of the realm of possibility here. And the checks and balances and Congress basically saying, well, we want a space race, but we also need more science. We could end up with NASA's funding could get bolstered like crazy. It's definitely doable. That's a thing that could happen. It's possible.
I'm here for it.
Right?
I'm super here for it. I'm also here for Bideford again with another $25 super. Thank you, Bideford, so much. See, where's the good news? Sorry that I'm so very upset over all this. We will get to some good news here in just a second. That's the hype train horn for the good news. Thank you, Kevin. Austin Skirvin, thank you for the support. They say, how are the canards, Jack? They're great. Canards are great. They're not great in every situation. You shouldn't always use canards, but canards are great. Also, you continue to kilt it on stream. Hope the budget doesn't nerf science. Walked into that one. Astro Knucklehead, thank you, buddy. They say a myopic view, such as Kennedy in the 60s, the only way to get to the moon. The only way we get to the moon and Mars, rapid, reliable, reusable spacecraft, are the only way. Tell me I'm wrong. No, I think we all agree. RC Horseman, thank you for gifting 10 Red Team memberships. Jeff, thank you for the $25 super chat. To say, have a great weekend. There's not enough time to talk about how to keep politics out of space stuff. Yeah.
You're conjoined at the hip, guys, and the sooner you realize that, the better, especially when it comes to NASA stuff. It's just one of those things you got to deal with.
I know a lot of us are bummed that we didn't end up in the timeline where Jared is the NASA admin.
That
and I'm
really
sure
sucks.
we've belabored this point on past streams, but maybe it's not all bad because Jared can not be mired in the muck of politics. Like, that's good.
Like I said, he had his first day off, and since he was 16 now, so.
Yeah, I saw that tweet. That was a good tweet.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Of course, didn't he say that he was thinking about running for Congress?
Please, no, Rook, Go buy that F-14, brother, and then fly into space. Please, please just do that. Please, as a taxpayer.
We got former astronaut Terry Virts running now, so why not?
Yeah, there you go.
Man. And finally, Steve Kalovic, thank you for the super chat. Say, please stop making my mom upset, Bideford. When she gets upset, she calls me all her brothers' names, usually Mike, Kevin, Steven. So thanks. Sorry, Steve. We're not trying to make Bideford upset. All right, we'll move on. We'll move on to the next topic. Sawyer, tell us about... Oh, go ahead, AJ.
I was going to say, Bideford, I'm trying to say that this could end up being good. There's no, don't throw in the towel just yet on me. Stay with me. I got margaritas. Stay with me.
Oh, wow. Kevin, can we get the breaking news? We need the breaking news stinger. Breaking news stinger. Kevin, breaking news stinger, please. You hate me right now. You actually did it. Breaking news. Thank you. I'm sorry. We have a poll in chat. Chat, if you are watching this live right now, there is a poll in chat. It has just been added. The poll is, Kevin Michael Reed should share his soundboard with Chris B for Raptor Sides. The answers are yes and no. Chat, I want you to weigh in on this poll. This is an important poll worthy of the breaking news stinger and me yelling at Kevin live on air to do it as if he was a puppet. I'm sorry, Kevin.
Who created this poll?
I was gonna say
it wasn't me.
Kevin did.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I promise. I have access, but it wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
I don't have access.
All right, Chris. I'm sending you a stream deck. You have to give me your address. I'm doing it.
Let's go. Let's
done.
go. It's happening.
Just done. It's done. I have an extra one sitting here. I'm sending it.
That's the breaking news.
For real?
Yep. Done.
Holy cow! It happened.
That was. Whoa.
All right, Chris. Never say I didn't ever do anything for you. Words. They're hard.
I did never do nothing, anything for you. Never. Yeah.
Never ain't no doing not. Anyway.
Won the castle, England.
Nice. The big castle or the little castle? Is that the one with the clock in it?
Oh my god!
Everyone from England's very mad right now. Okay, Sawyer.
What do we Americans know about European stuff, right?
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know anything. All I know is hot dogs and hamburgers and beer. Me dumb American.
So guess what our next topic's about? European stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so ESA has had this whole big launcher challenge that they put out. It's kind of been in the works for a few years. So they had 12 different applicants put in to be kind of the launcher of the future and get their share of, I believe it was 100 or let me get the exact number up so I don't mess this up because it's in fancy E numbers. There we go, 169 million euros. So it ended up that they have now come down to the final 5 companies who will now refine their proposal, and then we will get the final official everything related to it coming up in November. So you could see there, you've got the companies on screen. We had them for a couple seconds at least. So we have, let me just make sure I get all of these right, because the pronunciations I'm going to butcher because I am American. We've got, was it ESAR? Or is it ISAR?
No, ESAR's right.
Okay, making sure. You got ESAR Aerospace, which is the German company, which so far is the only one of the ones that we're about to mention that has actually attempted a launch, of which NSF did assist in providing live stream services for that one, you may recall. Then we had Rocket Factory Augsburg, who did have a rocket on the pad at one point, but then lost it during a very explosive fueling test. So they're a little bit behind on that, but they would also be the German company RFA. You've got MayaSpace, which is a French company. You've got Orbex, which is a UK company, and PLD Space, which is a Spanish company. So all of them are working on their rockets now, and hopefully they'll be able to work with ESA and with the partners to get their share of that big pot of money to then create their new launchers. Of which it's worth noting out, not all of the vehicles are going to be reusable. You have ones that claim that they're going to be on the cheaper end, you have ones that are going to be partially reusable, and some that are not planning on reusability for this first stage. There will be a second stage potentially later on where they could get more money and develop further. So this one is component A for 2026 to 2030. Then once they demonstrate, you get component B, where they will work on their upgrades, and many of them had said at that point that's when they would start looking towards reusability. So it's nice to see more getting in the game. And I know I dunk on Ariane 6 all the time because it's fun too, but it's nice to have companies that have options. So yes, you have ESA involved, but to have these smaller companies finally getting into the game and saying, look, we'll provide the launch services for you. They provide different amounts that they can carry to space. You've got different launch sites. You've got the ones in Norway. You've got UK launch sites with Saxiford. So it'll be exciting to see more European launchers. And of course, we've talked to a bunch of these with the with our words, NSF's European Future in Space series that we've been doing here occasionally on Wednesdays at NSF. Words are hard.
Words are hard. I think we can all agree words are tricky, but you did so good, Sawyer.
Thank you. I tried. I did a lot of research on European companies today. I'll say that.
I mean, what do we think that the market is there for all of these launchers that are coming online? I mean, I know they're trying to diversify from being reliant on foreign companies, shall we say? I don't know. I mean, will there be a great winnowing like there was of the small sat launchers? I don't know.
Here's the thing. When you think about it, right now, the only place that Europe launches satellites from of their own rocket is South America. There are no European launchers launching from Europe, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. So if you have places like Tanzania that work on a lot of these that are based right there in mainland Europe, I feel like it's a little easier to send your satellite to, say, Norway or the UK than it is to have to ship it all the way to South America and French Guiana or send it all the way to the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. This is huge in that you're saving money on transportation costs and you're launching more locally and you're supporting European businesses. I feel like this is a huge win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hard to disagree with any of that. EJ, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to step on either.
No, it's all good. I was just in the video, in Ryan's video about European launches, it was the RFA explosion, and that's kind of to my point. Guys, with spaceflight economics, it really is kind of dependent. Like there's two ways to kind of look at it. It's like kind of the chicken and the egg, right? Do you build a launch vehicle because there's demand, or do you build a launch vehicle anticipating demand? So that's like kind of induced demand. It's like, is the demand natural or is it induced, right? It's possible. I don't really see that much of a market for all these launch vehicles, but it's possible that a market could emerge from it. But the reason why, Jack, I was like, is because, well, I mean, this seed money is great. That's a lot of money being thrown into the commercial market for the Europeans, and good for you guys. That's amazing. That's fantastic. But playing devil's advocate here, just people off again, but that's kind of my MO nowadays. So, I mean, ESAR has launched something. It got about 300 feet. It's European. It got about 100, I don't know, let's say like 200-300 meters, and then it popped. RFA's rocket blew up on the pad. PLD is doing good. Orbex, I haven't gotten an update from them in a good while. MayaSpace is testing prototypes on old test stands down in French Guiana, I think, if I'm remembering right. The point I'm trying to get at is that it's going to take a while. If the commercial market, I don't really see a demand for all these vehicles right now. So if we're going to play off the notion that the market is going to be there in a second, it's going to take a second, guys, because all these guys are a little ways away from getting up into space. You know what I mean? And that's, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think they're trying for induced demand, or you think these vehicles are there to serve a market? I don't know. I think it's induced demand, personally.
I think there is a market.
This is going to sound terrible to me, but I think they're expecting some of them to fail. You've got these companies, and we've seen that here in the US as well, where you get all these companies with this big ambitions and they get money to start figuring things out and planning, and then they never get off the ground, they never go anywhere, things like that. I'm sure it's a possibility that could happen here. And again, there's the component A and the component B. So I think whoever shines in those component A's, whoever can get off the ground and start launching things in that 26 to 2030 time range, that's who you're going to see get even more funding for component B. And I think that's when you're going to get your big game players, your big competitors for launching satellites in Europe.
Yeah. Okay, Jack. What do you think, dude? Do you think it's induced or not? I mean, I don't know, man. That's a lot of rockets.
I'm just mesmerized by this footage. Sorry.
Yeah, I know what you mean, dude. I was thinking
Whoever
that
shot that did a really good job. Just saying.
Subtle.
I don't know, EJ. It's a really good question. I do think as long as the current political climate is the way that it is, Europe is going to want to diversify. So I don't know. What is that? Is that induced demand or is that actual demand? Just one more rocket company, bro. Just one more rocket company, and we'll be launching from European soil, bro. Just one more rocket company, I swear.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It seems like they're doing it. It's like, oh, everybody else is doing commercial. We should too. Like, I don't know. Maybe a market does emerge, right? Like, I mean, some of the most successful people in the commercial industry, albeit American, like SpaceX is thinking induced demand with Starship. There's no market for 100 tons to low Earth orbit every launching once an hour. But there could be if you have something that costs $1 million to put something up there instead of like $80 million, right? Like, it's totally possible.
It is totally possible. Hopefully, I'm not jumping the gun here. It might be possible for somebody that's actually European to chime in.
But
Alex?
what are you trying to imply here?
You're
from Europe, so
You're
your opinions are catch-all. Like, okay,
Hey,
tell
so
us
Your
your thoughts.
opinion.
Yeah,
We
Your
had you-
opinion.
Yeah.
we had you on the show today. We wanted to ask you, what's a kilometer?
It's 2/3 of a mile. Yeah.
Ah, fractions. I understand these.
Kevin was on the ball with that one. Alex, what's your take?
Yeah, well, it's complicated. I think it's positive that ESA is it's investing in these other companies, right? For those that may not be aware, I had to write a piece about this story. I wonder why. Earlier this week, and one of the things that I noted for it's that ESA has traditionally relied upon launchers like the Ariane family of rockets, and more recently the Vega rockets from Avio, right? And so both Arianespace and Avio have been the big big contenders, like the ULAs of Europe, if you will, right? And it's or the Lockheed Martins and Boeings of Europe. And so now ESA has seen what's been going on in the US for the last decade or so, and they're like, you know what, we need to diversify, we need to get more players here, because we cannot be spending this much money that we do on and not even just much money, but also we need to have multiple options, right? More options, more better. Sorry, Jack, for getting you there, but it's true, right? Like, you want to have more options, and for a lot of these countries that support, so the way that ESA is also arranged is a lot different. In some ways, it's very similar to the US, but in other ways is different, in the sense that the way that, for example, in the US, you guys are always talking about, oh, it's a jobs program and the pork and whatever, all of those different things that you guys talk about, and how certain
Pork.
yeah, and how certain senators and representatives try to bring NASA jobs to their own districts and states and things like that. In the case of ESA, it's not about some elaborate plan to get those jobs there. It's actually there in the conditions. You have this whole thing called geo-return, where the missions need to be elaborated. Essentially, things like the Ariane 6 rocket, for example, it's made in France and Germany, precisely because France and Germany are the ones that bring the most money to ESA. And then some of the other countries like Spain, Italy, and whatnot contribute like some other parts, like interstages, some motors, for example, on the Ariane 6, etc. My point is, it's a lot harder to diversify, right? And so, for example, this launcher challenge, is doing the opposite. It's telling the countries, okay, here are the launchers, now you gotta fund them. And you gotta propose a funding scheme and timetable for all of this to happen. So it's sort of also flipping the table as well here. It's sort of like, or flipping the game. I don't remember what's the exact expression, but it's sort of doing the opposite of what it's been trying to do for the longest time. The geo-return thing has been quite... Like we've had on Europe's Future in Space, that series, we've had several launch companies, and one of the different things that they have precisely talked about has been about the geo-return, being just about consolidating all of this power into just a couple of countries, and namely Arianespace and Avio. With this flipping of the game, I guess, it's a whole lot different, right? Now you have the opposite. You have the launchers there, and now the countries need to commit to a funding, which, by the way, it's going to be funny because ESAR and RFA are both from Germany, so Germany will have to find a way of having to split the funding and whatever. Bottom line is, I think it's interesting that, you know, they're sort of parting ways from the traditional way, and it may give rise to more options and more, you know, just in general, potentially lower costs and more increased access, and things like little constellations of satellites and things like that. That can be started with these smaller launchers. Most of these companies already have plans for larger rockets in the future, so that could also be a thing in the future as well, where they replace completely the Ariane series. Like, who knows? Anyways, too much.
Well, that's just like
talk.
Your opinion, man.
No, man, all the B-roll this week has been really good.
Mm-hmm. So
flipping the script. Thank you, String Simpleton.
Alex, I have a question, dude. So you know, you said there that potentially this could buck the trend of the money shift, right? So like you could potentially, like, one of these companies could potentially grow enough to dethrone, like, Arianespace is like, you know, Europe's primary access. What do you think here? Hold up. What do you think? Yeah. Like, so you're saying like something like SpaceX, like the dichotomy between SpaceX and NASA could happen. What do you think happens to Ariane 6 when it gets to that point? Say like PLD, for instance. Say PLD makes Mira 5 and it's beast, and they build a bigger one. They build Mira 9 and it's fully reusable, and it puts Ariane 6 to shame, right? Yeah. Like what happens when that happens? Do you think you see something like SLS? Like, do you think Ariane 6 goes the way of that? Like, oh no, we need this. It's vital. Like, we need or what? You think Europe will be like, nah, screw this. All right, never mind.
Well, that's the difference. I guess that's why I compared it more to ULA rather than, say, for example, SLS. Because even though it is an institutional rocket, it's still owned by a somewhat private company, right? And so that means, like, even if it doesn't replace it, it at least will make it harder for Arianespace to sell the Ariane 6 rocket, even to institutional parties, right? Like, even to ESA and things like that. Like, when we're talking about a company that can, in theory, maybe provide the same services but for a lower cost, we're seeing already, for example, on the launch services program for NASA or the U.S. Space Force and things like that, where SpaceX is coming on top now, right, from the traditional contractor ULA. And so a similar thing may happen. Of course, this is probably going to be years in the future, but it's a promising change, right? It's like, we need this change not because it is not a good rocket, like the Ariane 6 is I think it's a solid design, but if no pun intended.
Yep, there it is.
But it's like having, first of all, you have more options, more ideas being brought to the market, right? Like different options. Like you have ESAR using propane, also Orbex with a prime. Yeah, propane and propane accessories. Anyways,
that's right, boy.
I got you.
That was the worst. That was no. You didn't get anything. You didn't get anything. You understood what the joke was going to be, but your attempt at a Hank Hill was dismal.
I know. Yes, I knew what I was going to say. Anyways, and then you have like PLD Space is also trying reusable rockets. We saw there they were testing. First, they're going to be doing parachutes. Then they're going to be doing propulsive landing. Then they have a bigger rocket, sort of Hulking Heavy style, up to 4 side boosters and everything. It's a crazy thing.
Beast.
And then you've got also RFA. Like you have different approaches, right? And that means different options. And don't get me wrong, it's not just for ESA, but this can also be valuable for the each of the countries themselves. Like I know, for example, here in Spain, we're trying to get our own sort of low Earth orbit satellite constellation of imaging satellites, for example, to just get things like weather and things like observation of wildfires and stuff like that. We can also use that to sell it to other countries and allies and whatever. Like you have also that option that now you have a launcher from a country, not just Europe, right? And so that launcher can be sold to the institutions of that same country. So you have Spain, you have Germany, the UK with Orbex, you have France. And instead of using the traditional contractors or having to go, say, with SpaceX just earlier this year launched a Spanish government satellite, for example. If instead of doing that, we could launch this, say, on a Miura next, right? The future PLD space launcher and whatever. Like, if that were to be the case, that, sustains our own technology, if you will, right? The same way that in the US, you guys have all of this technological base precisely because of SpaceX, Relativity, Stoke, Rocket Lab, blah, 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 all of those. Anyways, so I'm ranting too much about this.
No. I'm with you. I'm with you. You're saying that if these individual countries pursue these individual rockets, that a market will emerge in said country for said rocket. So the demand would be initially started from from ESA, but it is induced demand. There's no market right now, but there could be a big market in the future if you have that capability for on a country to country basis, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. And again,
yeah, I got you. Cool.
I'm not even saying that perhaps by the time, some of these bigger launchers are in the market, we may not see an Ariane 6, maybe it's Ariane 7 or whatever it's going to be called. And Arianespace also has, different ideas to evolve and things like that, whatever. Yeah. But you know what I mean, right? Like it can make things a little bit harder. And then that means Arianespace will have to think a bit better on how to make a better rocket, make it a little bit cheaper, more efficient, and be able to launch more often. Like those sorts of things. There's these companies, I think both RFA and PLD Space have talked about, dozens of launches per year, for example, being able to have that capability. And so Ariane 6, as far as I know, it's like maybe 6 or 7 launches per year, right? Yeah, I know. Long name, long talk. I know.
And let's be honest.
I've seen it. Like,
EJ's actually been
engaging. At the screen.
EJ's actually been engaging in conversation with you. Sawyer and I and Kevin have been dunking on you in the back channel with your lower third. It's been great.
I'm just trying to listen to the man. Damn it! I like the explanations.
You
what do you
three,
want?
I don't have to look at a camera, so I'm literally looking at the screen right now, and I see everything. Just saying.
Just saying.
Well, here's the thing. I just want to throw this out there. I know we're getting towards the end of the topic, but if Arianespace didn't have Blue Origin and Amazon and Project Kuiper scheduled to launch on there, what business do they really have? There's no way that they have that much of a demand right now currently with the competitive rates that the US launchers are providing if they didn't already have the contract that they have to launch some of the Kuiper missions. And keep in mind, Kuiper is on a deadline. They have to have a certain number of satellites up. I believe it's 1,600-ish satellites up by July of next year. So they have 12 months. And Ariane 6 is supposed to launch a bunch of those, if it can even get to that point. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I saw people in chat saying that too. We'll see what happens.
We shall see.
At least from the small sat stuff, Rocket Lab seems to be doing sort of ish well. Like, you know what I mean, right? Like, at least from that end, it seems like they have a market. There are payloads to be launched, right? That's the point that I'm trying to make. And And if you look, for example, at transporter missions and whatnot, there's also like dozens of payloads that ride always on those missions. You could, in theory, think that, well, maybe if there are more small sat launchers out there and whatnot, maybe that'll be something of the future. I don't know about larger launchers, to be fair, but that's gonna be a thing to be seen. It's definitely one of these things that we're seeing lately, where anybody that has a satellite to launch big enough goes to SpaceX, because there's no other, like,
Right.
it's
Right.
already at limit. Anyways,
They're the only game in town. Well, you know what's not the only game in town? Haha! We have more than one YouTube channel now. This isn't the only game in town anymore. I've been waiting for like 20 minutes to do that tease.
It wasn't worth the wait.
I've read the 3 videos. Anyway.
But no, we have a second YouTube channel now. I am leaking this. I'm breaking this. I don't know. But it's called Breaking Space, and it will feature timely content. It says what it is on the box. We're trying to go for like an almost daily sort of posting rate, quick release, breaking news, like shorter, like 3 or 4 minute videos. So that's Breaking Space. And if you've noticed all the really good B-roll on today's episode of the Flame Trench, well, that's because Kevin had a whole bunch of really good B-roll from Ryan and was able to just have it queued up because of Breaking Space. Yay, Breaking Space.
Actually, it's Breaking Space.
What?
It's Breaking Space.
Broke it.
We broke it.
Breaking is capitalized. It's Breaking Space.
Breaking Space.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Jeb. But we're putting the link to the second channel in chat. Thank you, Ryan, for doing that. If you subscribe to us, I'd say there's a high likelihood that you will like that channel as well, and you should head on over there and hit the little subscribe button. It is a legit NSF channel, says Alex in our back channel. Alex, people always know that something is legit when you tell them it's legit. Like, that is a good methodology. Like, if I was like, hey, you should buy this car, it's a great car. Yeah, like, but no, really, this is a real NSF channel. You can see the little NSF logo right there. Breaking Space, check it out. It is. Subscribing is free, and I'm not supposed to say this live on air, but here we go. Subscribing does make you a cooler person.
Whoa, wow. Dude, you're not supposed to tell them that.
I already have DMs from Das and Crispy, but subscribing to Breaking Space does actually make you a cooler person. I'm sorry that I didn't mean to leak that. But yeah, always trying to expand what we do and bring you guys content in ways that you want to consume it. So head on over there, subscribe, check out what we're doing. If you like it, leave comments, let us know. We'll adjust the plan accordingly.
If you like space and you like Jake, you should do it.
Oh. So is this channel for B-roll, Jack, or what are we doing with that thing?
No, it's supposed to be like breaking news, shorter content, space news, but like shorter and on its own channel and timely. Like, a lot of times when we have a video in production, it can take a couple days. Some of the videos it takes months, depending on the topic. But we want a place where we can like rapidly, get a video out. Shorter video.
The opposite of an Alex answer.
Yeah.
And
right, Alex?
Yeah. Speaking of Alex answers, like, this is probably gonna sound weird, but if you like Twiz, this is also like that. Just, the pieces and news that we got on Twiz, it's usually on Friday. Things happen earlier in the week, and news break, and so this is also another way for you to get the news a lot earlier than, say, if you just watch Twiz.
Which is coming up after we talk about Starship, right, Jack?
I was gonna say, yeah.
I like Starship.
Right, Jack?
Right, Jack?
Jack?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right?
Jack?
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 I was about to be like, but Alex, if the news is breaking earlier in the week, who's going to fix it? But then you forced a transition to Starship.
We haven't talked about Starship yet. We're already an hour 45 minutes in. Let's talk Starship. I like Starship.
And he ruined my. I'm going to set the building on fire.
Like they did to Ship 36 after? Anyway.
And there was 2 squirrels, and they got married, and they lived, and then they moved my desk away from the window.
The store, indeed.
and-
Took my
and-
stapler and he didn't give it back.
And I was told that I would get a piece of cake, and I did not get a piece of cake. And
Take
I'm gonna
help
set
me
the-
from this man with the beard.
I'm gonna set the building on fire.
You're the same.
The more
color
you
as
try
our
and
shirt,
force
help
the
me.
transition to Starship,
Are
Sawyer,
you okay, Jack?
the more I'm gonna reference Office Space. EJ, do you actually have a stapler?
Yes. I did. I bought the red swing line stapler because I like it a lot. It's a really good stapler.
That's amazing. Yeah, let's talk about Starship. Fine, Sawyer. We got Alex here.
Yay.
We can talk about as if I was resisting it. But yeah, Alex. I mean, do you want to just give us a quick rundown? Looking at the timer.
impossible,
Looking at the
man.
timer on the bottom of the screen.
I
I
can't
mean,
see
we're
that
gonna-
timer,
we
bro.
have
That's
we do have twists coming up in about 30 minutes, but we got a healthy chunk of time to talk about Starship here, and there's a lot going on. So, Alex, take it away.
They're doing more modifications on the ship transport stand. They've also modified the launch mount at Pad 1, Pad A, whatever you want to call it, to have the ship quick disconnect port and everything, the umbilicals, blah, blah, blah. What else? Oh, yeah! Transfer tubes! Can we show transfer tubes?
Oh,
Yeah, we can.
super
was-
tuber.
I was sort of stalling.
Sorry, I'm looking
Super
for the
tuber.
post.
Okay.
Where's the post? Where's the transfer to post?
I love when Kevin puts on his "I'm helpless" voice. It's like the verbal equivalent of puppy dog eyes. Like he knows what he's doing. It's an intentional. It's like, but I don't know where it is, and that means Alex is going to be like, "Bing, bing, bing, bing," and pull it up in like 3 seconds. I
yeah,
can
it's
see
his
it.
way
I
of
can see
screaming
he's got
that
it.
it's not
already
in the show
happening.
doc.
Yeah.
he's already got it.
It is in
the
the show
voice.
doc. It's just not like screaming
Obvious.
at me right now. So
Yeah.
Here we go. Hold on. It's coming. It's coming.
You want me? Do you
Yeah,
want
we
me to
should-
scream at you?
We should talk about transfer tubes. That's a good point, Alex. It was
Super
Look at that.
tubers.
the first annual
Nice.
transfer tube day on the 9th. We all celebrated heartily. I hope you all had a good transfer tube day.
It's
Uh,
super tuber.
I think we can all
Super
stop
tuber.
calling it a downcomer now, which is great.
Super tuber.
We shall not.
We can call it. You can call it a super tuber. I'm fine with that.
Super
But
tuber.
we all know now that it's not a downcomer. I think we can all agree that it's not a downcomer. It's a transfer tube. Let's go. I'm not mad that particular tweet has done better than imagery that I have absolutely slaved over and stressed over and cried about. I'm not mad about that at all.
So, Jack, I got a question. Does methane come down this transfer tube
It also
Okay.
goes up it.
Yeah.
slowly? But it
No,
goes
not slowly. Have you
it
seen how
comes-
fast they fuel up the rocket? They fuel that thing up
Well,
in like 45 minutes. It's fast.
Yeah, but it defuels at an 8, like less than 8. What are you talking about?
Sure, yeah, the fuel goes out faster than it comes in. But I wouldn't say it goes in slow. You're just trying to weasel around. I know what you're trying to do here, dude. I'm not. This is my first rodeo.
Jake's giving you the
SpaceX
cold shoulder for
tweeted.
that.
SpaceX did a tweet with multiple images. They called it a transfer tube. I have a ring watchers diagram saved on my photo roll from like 3 or 4 days ago, and I love the ring watchers. They're great. But it's labeled a downcomer in that diagram, and it's not a downcomer, it's a transfer tube. It's a transfer tube. They called it a transfer tube. We've seen labels. That's why I always call it a transfer tube, because we saw labels like years ago. Mary or I got shots of it. Maybe it was Nick. I don't remember. It's a transfer tube. It's a
That's a
transfer
really
tube.
big
They,
transfer
is
tube.
wrong.
they called it a transfer tube.
It's
Can we
really
put
big,
this to-
Jack.
is wrong.
What? No, Jack. What's the name of the tallest building in Chicago?
Sears Tower?
Yeah, it is the Sears Tower. But it's not the Willis Tower, is it? It's the Sears Tower. So the point is that the person who created it or who owns it can be wrong about the name. See what I'm saying? Downtuber.
But that's more of a pad A, pad B situation than downcomer transfer tube.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
You get what I mean. You're saying what because
What
you
was he saying,
got
Jake?
caught.
No,
You scared
no,
Jake
I didn't
away.
get caught at all. I don't call them, dude. I call them. I don't call it pad 1 or 2 or pad, A or pad B. I call it this pad and that pad.
That sounds like it would get confusing.
It's the
No,
north
this
and
pad
south
is the first
pad.
one. No,
Moldy, quit making good points in chat. Go away. Don't actually go away, but quit making good points in chat.
Yeah, see, Moldy, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. We can call it a downcomer. It's fine.
You can call it a down tuber, sure. You can call it whatever you want. Just don't call it a downcomer because it's not that. It's a transfer tube. How are we? I really thought we weren't going to spend much time on this part of the. Like, we haven't even talked about, like.
That's why I was trying to rush you along and cutting off your pun because I knew this was coming.
Like, it's done. It's over. They called it a transfer tube. I even had DOS in our Discord being like, but is it really? And I'm like, bro!
And here we go.
Here we go. Let's start.
That's pretty good.
Get the outro.
Oh, man. Anyway, so yeah, the transfer tube for it's the first version 3 booster, right, Alex?
Yep, that's booster 18 for you, man. And it's like a big chunking tube there. You can see it. Yeah, so they mentioned, transfer tube, not downcomer.
Let's go.
They
Broken clock, right twice a day, baby. Let's go. Come on, Luke. Yeah, Luke is happy too. Luke is a good dog too. She's right twice a day sometimes.
Even a bald
sorry.
squirrel finds a nut.
Were you the first one to post on this SpaceX post? To reply? Or is it just because, like, you're my friend, you're near the top? Like,
I don't think I was the first, but I was fresh out the gate. Like, as soon as I saw that come through, because I do have notifications on for SpaceX. We are a news organization, and I like to be on top of the news. So yeah, as soon as I saw that notification come through, I just immediately went into celebratory jerk mode. I probably annoyed a lot of people. I'm sorry if you did, but you got to take a victory lap sometimes.
Anyways.
What?
Oh, hey, Alex is here.
Yeah.
Who's your good girl? Who's your good baby? She's been so good lately, dude. Look how good she's being. She's not even, like, this isn't even very insane at all for her standards.
And you see
He hasn't
Jake gave
tried
way
to-
so that
to
Leica
chew
could
them.
have some screen time because he was hanging.
Yeah, she got jealous. Yeah, you're right, Alex. She didn't even try to eat the microphone
Yeah.
once.
So, going back to
How
the
big are
transfer
these?
tube. So this transfer tube is quite huge. If you've seen, for example, previous designs, it was not as huge. It was not as wide. It's about as long because the booster got a little bit longer and the liquid oxygen tank got a little bit
Right.
longer, right? But the length is not really the important part here. Is that it is a lot wider, and so the whole deal with this is that it's approaching. It's like almost the same size as a first stage Falcon 9 booster. So it's like we put a Falcon 9 on a Super Heavy so that Super Heavy can Falcon 9, I guess. Anyways.
Yeah, Dan Hood had a really good tweet that was like, "Yo, dog, we heard you like rockets, so we put a rocket in your rocket." Pretty amazing. Pretty great.
Wait, when did he
also
post
like
that?
a vintage meme, like right around the same time as the SpaceX tweet.
Oh, because I posted that. Did Dan copy me or did we both?
No, you copied Dan. You copied Dan.
Oh.
Well, you know what, dude? I love you, and you're really funny. So, and you know what, dude? Evolution has made crabs like 20 different separate times. So, convergent, processes is totally a thing. I don't think you stole. It's like crabs.
Yeah.
Good point, Jack.
Yeah.
What?
That right. You are, Jack.
All
What does
right.
that have to do with Starship?
Crabs. Crab stand. The crab invasions.
Now we're talking. What about the crab stand, huh? Looks
Krabby
pretty
Patty.
toasty.
They are actually finally starting to work on it. The other day, I managed to get some footage of like 4 different workers on top of it, and it's like covered in scaffolding now. So it seems like the cleanup might be ending, and the rebuild might be starting. I don't know. Is that a fair? Would you agree, Alex?
Roasted crab. Mm.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's one of the other
fun.
points that we were going to be touching on here, which is they are also doing a lot of the cleanup already and getting rid of all the burnt GSC and whatnot, getting a lot of the stuff repaired and whatnot. Going back here now that we have the launch mount view, you can see there's a few additions on the booster quick disconnect there.
Wait,
on,
I'm not
on the
ready.
left.
I'm not ready for launch site fun time because there's a lot going on at the launch site. Just really quickly to go back to Massey's for a moment.
Okay.
I'm sorry, both of you, Alex and Kevin. To go back to Massey's briefly, one thing I will note, every time you drive down Massey Way to get to the site or whatever, there's always traffic coming to and from, right? Lately, since the anomaly, there's been a huge amount of traffic. In fact, there are now cars parked like up and down Massey Way for the last like quarter, half mile before the gate. So SpaceX is just absolutely throwing human power at this problem. Like you can just tell by being there how many additional workers are involved in the cleanup and rebuild. And of course, the obligatory like every 10 minutes a dump truck full of concrete that they're tearing up goes by or what have you, or a fresh concrete truck rolls in. Like they're not messing around. I just want to throw that out there.
By the way, Cars Park is in Florida, not Starbase.
Sawyer, you're gonna shuffle the show along as not the host and kill my jokes.
Yeah.
And yet you're gonna take time for that. Okay, that's all right. All right. Let's see how it
Main
is.
character
Anyways,
energy
Alex,
here. Yep.
Alex, tell us about
I-
the mods they're doing at the mount there. Is work continuing on the orbital launch mount? I can't tell.
It is indeed. I do have a question though. Does it still smell like burnt COPV at Massey's? Anyways,
Not really.
and so yeah, you can see there they have added this sort of I don't know how to call it. It's like an additional structure to the left of the booster quick disconnect. It's very much likely just to put some of the hoses or connections and everything from the booster quick disconnect out to the ship. And just use that for being able to fuel a ship. Because one thing is the adapter, the ship transport stand that they're turning into an adapter, so to speak, sort of like lightning to HDMI stuff, right? And then that'll help them put the ship on the orbital launch mount and be held down for the static fire. But for the static fire, you kind of need to fill with propellants the ship, and so that's probably what they're doing there with a quick disconnect. But yeah, here we see some of the pictures. Is this from Jack, Kevin? I don't.
Maybe, probably.
I have no idea. He's the
That
one
looks
who
like a me
released.
picture.
Kind of looks like a you picture.
Kevin says it is.
Yes.
It's kind of crappy, you know. You can tell how the way it is.
I think that picture's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. Does it seem
tell-
like the stand is just gonna mount directly to the mount?
I think it's going on the hold down points, if I'm
Yeah.
looking at that right.
The
Like
suction
the-
cup looking thingies.
The thing that will be doing everything in this adapting the ship to the orbital launch mount is that. Like we don't think there's going to be like a bunch of additional stuff that goes below it. Like when we first saw the stand moving to the launch site, we were like, oh, what are they going to put some kind of crazy adapter under the stand itself? Like, but this will just slot into the mount. Is that what we're currently thinking?
Alex, I don't know about you. That looks like it's just going to pick up on Super Heavy's hold down points.
Yeah, they removed the hold down clamps and everything as well. So it's gonna be just resting. Like the way that it seems like they're gonna be putting it down is first resting it on the support pedestals, right? The arms themselves, and then the hold downs will be installed and bolted to the transport stand, right?
Yeah.
What I mean by removing the clamps is like the actual clamping system on top of the arm, not the arms
Not the
themselves,
arm.
right? The
Yeah,
arms
yeah,
are
yeah.
there. They sort of, the booster, the rocket in general just sits down on that, and then there are clamps that go on top. Here, I'm guessing that the whole reason they removed them in the first place was to sort of place first the transport stand and then bolt down those hold down arms to the hold on clamps to the transport stand. Then on top will go the ship itself just as usual. They have installed supports for the RVAC engines.
Hey EJ, where does the adapter go?
Is that to scale?
It goes in the round hole.
Literally,
It's a high-tech
Yeah, guys.
simulation. This is what your
This is-
member support goes towards: our cutting-edge, technologically advanced computer graphics. Do it again, Kevin. Do it again.
a little bit lower, Kevin. Hang on. Let me see if
Nah,
I can.
it's gonna be sitting
There we
down
go.
there a
There.
good ways.
Down. Little bit more.
Down.
Just a tiny bit. There we go.
Right there.
There. Yeah.
Perfect. I mean, that's
Now-
honestly pretty great.
Alex, I got a question for the modified ship quick disconnect that they're gonna make. Do you think they're just gonna tap off some hoses and just zip tie some hoses to that structure that's on the side there and just kind of hook them up like they used to do back in the day? Like just hook up a bunch of hoses. Do you think they're gonna get a whole SQD plate?
Hoses.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a mix of both, in the sense that
Yeah.
to be able to connect to the ship, you probably will need the quick disconnect, but you could on the other end of the port, you have the hoses coming out of the booster quick disconnect, right? Like you just yank the hoses for the booster quick disconnect and sort of make an extension up and above, and then you put the quick disconnect port on the other end, and that can serve as your interface with the port on the ship. And they actually we've seen, I think it was last week, they took one of those from the Mega Bay 2, and so maybe that may be used for this contraption. We'll see.
We shall indeed see. Yeah, I kind of just expect it to be some flex hoses. It's just a big adapter. It's a big old dongle.
And I guess it's technically
get destroyed like we saw with all the Booster 7 stuff when they kept ripping the hoses.
Oh, jeez.
R.I.P. White Hose. Never forget. What was that? 2022.
Yeah.
Was that
my God.
that long ago?
Oh my God, my brain. Yeah, so they've been doing more mods on the launch mount there. They also took a panel off the back of the BQD and have been adding like a truss structure on there. So that'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. I'm also curious, how long is this process going to take, and then how long does it take them to revert it back to launch capable?
Well, Jack, this is where I'm really this is what I was going to say. How long is it going to take? Well, clearly it's going to take less time than what they foresee NASA's to be rebuilt as, right? Like, why would you do this if they could rebuild NASA's quickly? Like, clearly this is going to be faster than doing that, right? So I said before, and I still stand by this, that Massey's will be operational in 3 weeks at the end of July. I really think so. I mean, look, they've already got it ready to go. Alex was just saying that it is ready to be it's pretty much ready to be rebuilt. They're going to go fast on this. So that tells me if they're going to have this done, if they're going to have Massey's done by the end of the month, right? This thing is going to take less time than that. So I'm thinking next week for this thing.
Really?
Yeah. Think about it. Why would you waste your time building this when it's going to take the same amount of time to rebuild Massey's? They're doing this because it's clearly faster. I mean, if you told me after Ship 36 exploded that they were going to graft a transport stool to pad A1 and just send it, I'd be like, I don't think so.
I think we talked about it. I think we talked about it that week.
Yeah.
The next day, we were like, milk stool, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny? Oops.
Here we are.
Right?
Star stool. Yes. Thank you, Alex.
Those trusses they put there on the booster quick disconnect, I think it took less than a week since we started seeing them work on them next to the launch mount. Yeah, maybe a couple of days. I remember, you probably remember it better because you were thinking about it, where it was it seems like they're building something next to the launch mount. Can you take a look at this? And I think that was on Monday or something. I don't know. But it was this week when we started seeing that, and it's already there. It's already installed.
Hooray. Speaking of this week.
So...
Oh, wait, go ahead.
Going back to this, so one of the things that was mentioned as well with the transfer tube is that, as Elon puts it, it's also a sort of fuel landing tank of sorts, or header tank or whatever. I don't remember the exact expression he used. Yeah, fuel header tank than a transfer tube. So one of the things that happens with Super Heavy, even though it doesn't do the crazy acrobatics of the ship, it still does quite some flips, right? Especially at boost back and everything. And even during the landing, the swings and everything that it does, with very little fuel amount that it has, it needs a landing tank and a header tank in general, right? For the current version of the Super Heavy, they had a dedicated header tank for the liquid oxygen around the transfer tube, around the fuel transfer tubes. The fuel transfer tube, it's called like that because the methane tank is on top. You need the fuel to go down to the engines. So that's what the tube is for. And so I think that for the longest time they've been using the fuel transfer tube sort of as their landing tank. But now it's wider, which means it can hold more of this fuel. And likely it is also for the boost back. And there we can see also on the text of the SpaceX tweet, it says something about a reliable flip maneuver. So it's also about flipping back and starting the boost back burn. So it's not just for the landing,
figure
but also
when the
boost
booster
back.
does that flip, there's going to be a lot of sloshing propellant. No, Kevin, go down. No, the important part is a little bit further down. Scroll down.
No.
The
It's
important.
okay.
Let's go! No, let's go!
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, let me finish my train of thought here. The thing is,
you finished those?
Do we think it's just one little thing? How the heck are they doing the liquid oxygen? Because this is the fuel transfer tube, but it also acts as the fuel header tank. What about the liquid oxygen though? What are they doing for that?
This goes inside another cylinder, right? At least the bottom of it.
Is it going to be like that?
I mean, that's
Alex,
what we've seen on previous DAF sections. Sorry, EJ, go ahead.
No, all good. I think that there is a common bulkhead inside of that tube.
Okay.
What?
I think there's a CVH inside of the transfer tube.
Okay, so there's a tube in the tube. Is what you're saying. You're saying the transfer tube has its own transfer tube. Is what you're saying, basically.
I'm saying the transfer tube has a downcomer in it.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Yes. No, seriously. I mean, you're going to need a tank for the locks too, right? Like that thing has to have another tube in it. It has to get skinnier at some point because you're going to displace all your liquid oxygen that way, right?
Yeah, we'll see.
No.
I mean, that's one of the big mysteries. I guess we'll have to wait until one of these boosters crashes on the beach. And we start seeing parts of the transfer tube.
Why would you manifest that? Why would you manifest that?
Because
do you know
Jack,
where we
you
put
and I
our
are on the
cameras?
stream.
Do you understand where we put cameras for launches? It's near or on the beach where SpaceX allows it to.
Jack, if you and I are on the stream, it's going to blow up, so might as well prepare for it.
I'm sorry.
The full stack just blew up. The full stack just blew up.
I'm sorry for being so blunt, but it's true. Like the ways that, nowadays without the tents or whatever, the ways that we can see the interior of these boosters and ships or whatever, it's when they explode. The amount of new things that people discovered when Ship 36 exploded was like, oh, so this is designed this way. Okay. And they updated the models and everything. So I'm joking, but also not joking that it's probably going to be that way, the way we find about this.
No
that
faith.
Or maybe we see like a separate cylinder or whatever that surrounds this other cylinder, and that's the liquid oxygen header tank, whatever, right?
I'll go with the optimistic route of how we might find out about it. Internal camera during a launch stream. Maybe?
Something not explosive. How about that?
Yeah. Like we've had several of those lately. I think we're good. Like we've met our quota, we like met the deductible or whatever. I don't know how insurance works. And then and then we're good, right? Like no more for the year. Like we're good. No more
Hey Jack, you know what else had cameras inside it? A helicopter that flew over KSC.
You don't say, Kevin.
Yeah, I
We're
say.
just screwing up all your transitions.
The flame trench! The flame trench!
Look, it's the flame trench. It's the actual flame trench at 39A. I think Alex might have just had a seizure. But no, you've been seeing some of the pictures throughout the episode, right, of the flyover that we did yesterday. We've talked about it a little bit. Just a friendly reminder that is coming down the pipe.
Yeah,
Down the downcomer?
I already
say
did the
anything
I'm
that time.
leaving joke. I can't do the I'm leaving joke again.
I didn't say that time.
EJ's like, I was good. I just wanted to be noted that I was good.
I just want for the record.
But yeah, again, we can only do things like flyovers, which are cost intensive and time intensive and post production intensive because of y'all's support. So Telstar86, thank you again. They say justice for crispy soundboard. I've got a very cute little puppy with her head on my. What do you want? Not right now. Not right now, baby. I'm sorry. Telstar86 again. Long name, long answer. As good as Long March 5. Long March 5.
Long March 5.
Long March 5.
Jeff Frishoff, thank you for the support. They say not bursting your methane bubble. This was news yesterday. Sorry, Jack. It's all right. Ninja Decimator, pew pew pew. Kevin. Hey, thank you, Ninja. They say, where does the methane go? That's right, in the square hole.
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
Down tuber forever. Greg Watson, thank you for the support. They say it's a super tuber. You boys like Methylux. Woo! So good. And Telstar86, Moat, mother of all tubes. Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Telstar. All right, well, let's see if we have any quick Starship questions. Severin's asking, do you think Ship 38... Oh, look at that. Is that the mount?
It is.
Dude.
It's a good-looking mount.
That's over at Roberts Road.
That's a nice-looking mount, boy. I tell you what.
Slaps hood. This baby can launch so many super heavies.
Oh, my goodness.
I would like to quickly address one thing that I'm seeing in chat. The August 4th thing is just a Federal Communications Commission license. Like, just it's not any official launch date. Carry on.
We are carrying. Severin wants to know if we think, or when we think 38 will be cryo-tested. Ship 38 needs to be cryo-tested. They want to know if we think it'll happen before or after Ship 37 static fire. I'm going to go with after. EJ, what do you think?
I would say either something concurrent, a concurrent operation, or after. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one.
Sorry, what do you think?
I think they're going to wait to do that at Massey's, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see Ship 37 do its thing. And then if Massey's is ready, they do Ship 38. If not, maybe then they use the janky setup.
Alex, what do you think?
37 static. There you go. First.
That was a great answer. Good job. And while we're looking at these aerial shots of KSC, Severin also wants to know, do you think they'll build a Massey-type facility for Starship testing in Florida, and when might construction for that begin? Have we seen any indications of anything like that, Alex?
I think it's just going to be at the so-called catch tower location. Probably.
That makes sense.
At each of the launch sites. It's already
Alex,
built to be in exclusion zone and whatever. So.
And
Alex,
37B and 39A are massive.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Didn't the 37V tentative plans for SpaceX have like provisions for test stands and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I would expect the same for 39A as well. They're also planning a catch tower there. Anyways, we're close to the end. So
we are close to the end. I
This
kind of
is
want to ask
the
one more
end.
question because I like to live dangerously, but instead I am going to thank this support that just came in from Dash Riptide, gifting 10 Red Team memberships. Just once again, the membership program is absolutely critical to helping us do what we do. We could put out a video, it could do well, it could do bad, who knows? The YouTube algorithm is a black box, the vagaries of which none of us can divine. We all only can try our best. But the membership, you heard me, it's a black box, the vagaries of which none of us can define. Can you define it, EJ? You've got a minute and 10 seconds, go.
Nope, I can't.
I can. It's like and subscribe. No, for real though. Members, thank you so much. We can't do this stuff without you guys. It's like one of the many things that allows us to continue doing what we're doing as the membership program, and the launch directors and flight engineers are the two highest levels of support, and you get your name at the end of the flame trench when we do it. So there you go. Thank you, launch directors. Thank you, flight engineers. Thank you to everybody who is supporting the stream this week. Thank you to all of our members. I know there's going to be...
Oh no.
Making it work kind of shakes your whole body. Making it work takes your whole body. It's huge, takes your whole body. Looking good though. Nice. You'll love to see it. Like animals on the Serengeti. Interesting. Good stuff. Nice. Good stuff. Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Tearing it up. What's happening? Stuff. Going at it. Tearing it up. Good stuff. Going at it. Is this my voice? Tearing it up. Good stuff. You reckon it's going in the ground? Yeah, I reckon. What is this audio from? Did Space Pope bug me?
What was with the steak?
What steak?
It was cutting steak.
I'm so lost. Space Pope, you've broken me. Thank you so much, buddy. We should have a cooking channel.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Jeff Frishoff gifted 10 Red Team memberships. Thank you, Jeff. Go watch this. Yeah, go watch This Week in Spaceflight. EJ, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/EJ_SA. We talk about space and play video games over there like Kerbal, where I blow things up over there. It's fun. Every time something blows up, they say it's Ship 36. Sawyer, go.
Thank you for having me. Great to be here. Stay tuned for Twist. You may see my face and voice as if you're not already sick of me already. Thanks, Jack. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Just stealing all your transitions.
I'm Jack for NSF. Thanks for watching this week. Kevin, thank you for producing this week. Everyone, go watch This Week in Spaceflight, which is premiering right now. Go. Shoo.
Good stuff.
Go.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be nominal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Following up. Roger, Atlantic.
Water towers fly! Yes! Echo down to nominal.
Flight downside FD off. Bring in FD off. Off. It's orange!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
What is it?
Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
This methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You good? Sure. We don't need any more of these.